what other people think of what you're doing means nothing at all. However, it is good to be in the inquiry of, is this right for me? Is this my path? Is this sustainable? Am I in danger in some kind of way? Is there anything that I should be thinking about how I could be safe or how I can do what I'm doing better? If this is your Dharma, meaning your duty, your path in the world, what you feel you have to do, there's no thought about it. If this is what you have to do, then do it. Just do it wisely, strategically, smartly, effectively. Beautiful, Pat.
Oh, thank you so much, Tommy. I've already heard so much stuff that is just, it's going to percolate up here, and hopefully I can put it into some kind of action on my part. Just, yeah, incredible.
Mm.
Yeah. I started writing out my question again last night. It turned into an essay. So I'll try to keep it simple. I've been in recovery for coming up on 17 years, 17th of this month. And my path has been really kind of weird. Started at 2 years through Kaiser rehab because I had Kaiser insurance. I tried a lot of different things that was suggested at AA, NA, 12-step meetings. The thing I kept coming back to was the Zen Center in San Francisco. And just kind of taking bits and pieces here and there. And, you know, I'm sober. But things didn't feel right. And so a couple of years ago, it was suggested that I become a counselor, substance abuse counselor. City College has a very well-respected program. So I signed up for it. I just finished my classes, 3.98 GPA. So I was paying attention, you know, but so I have to do an internship as part of my certification. Right now I'm registered, I can work, I can counsel, but a transformation was happening along the way to where I am now, where I started out as I was going to become a counselor. People were going to come in with their addiction problems. I was going to talk to them and they were going to quit one by one. And pretty soon San Francisco would be drug-free, alcohol-free, whatever, addiction-free. There's still going to be drugs and alcohol. But I transformed. I don't want to be a counselor. I don't want people coming in and me giving my advice from my lived experience, only to have them leave and never come back. And what I'm doing now, and I have been doing, I do a lot of walking around the city, and I try to help people that I see passed out on the street. I'm trying to offer help, advice, whatever. And I'm kind of getting a little pushback from people about I have to be in a job to do this. It has to be a job where I get a paycheck. And I'm discovering that I don't want a paycheck. I'm not wealthy at all. But I don't need money. Money's never been my thing. What I like to do is I like to walk around and talk to people and try to help them out. And what I really got out of this program was I figured out what caused my addiction problems. And, you know, the old brain, the new brain, the neurons, dopamine, all that stuff, everything just came together. And I thought, well, I can work on me. I kind of know what I did. I think I might know why I did it. I have some ideas, but I don't see it becoming a job. And I kind of, I don't want to be part of the treatment. I want to be part of the recovery for people. And I mean, is that worthwhile? You know, yeah, I mean, I being here today is a huge piece of this puzzle that's just been kind of fit exactly where it was supposed to go, you know, and the timing, everything. I'm kind of rambling here, I know, but I kind of see what I'm supposed to be doing. And it makes me feel good. In fact, sometimes it makes me feel great. I found a couple dead bodies, bending over, trying to help somebody and they're dead. Nothing I could do, obviously. So I got a cop over, they, did their thing. Other people, I've called 911. I got a guy who was on 5 seconds either way, he's dead. But another guy stopped. We got 911 and we stayed with him. I don't know if he survived, but he got into the ambulance alive. And we walked away, and I see people smoking fentanyl. They tell me, oh, I can smoke a gram and not OD. And I tell them, I'll stay here and I'll over there where I don't get the smoke. And if something happens, I'll call 911, try to offer advice. And I feel good about that. And sometimes when I tell people that's what I'm doing, they're like, wait a minute, you got to finish this program. You have to get the certificate. Then you have to go work for that organization. And
yes. So I'm looking at this as an inquiry into purpose.
Exactly.
And I'm looking at this as an exploration of what's okay for me to do. What's my path? It's okay if I come at it from that perspective?
Yes.
Is that?
You're right on track. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. So first of all, you are in a very long line, a very respected line. You could say an elite lineage of people who are interested in serving people who are the most impoverished. I don't use that word necessarily to mean financially, but I mean impoverished of spirit. The founding sort of principles of Alcoholics Anonymous in 1939, when the book came out, and 1935, when they really started doing the work of helping people to get sober in this particular way, they always said this can't be our job. They said this is not a vocation for us. This is an avocation. Meaning this is something we do because we want to, but we are not paid for this. So whenever you take somebody through the 12 steps or you guide somebody through the 12-step process, you're not doing it. The words are absence of profit motive.
Mm-hmm.
There is no profit motive engaged in the work that you're doing. So you're in this very long line of people, So you're in this very long line of people who do the work of helping people who are in the worst circumstances on the street, potentially ODing, in some cases have OD'd and died, as you've described. And it's so unusual in its depth of service. So few people would be able to do what you're suggesting that you're going to do and want to do. That it feels to people like it's out of alignment. And of course, what other people think of what you're doing means nothing at all. However, it is good to be in the inquiry of, is this right for me? Is this my path? Is this sustainable? Am I in danger in some kind of way? Is there anything that I should be thinking about how I could be safe, or, how I can do what I'm doing better, or be more successful or effective with this, that kind of thing. So with regards to you putting yourself in dangerous places, it sounds like you have some sense of yourself on the street, but this is something that you would want to be mindful of. If this is your Dharma, meaning your duty, your path in the world, what you feel you have to do, there's no thought about it. If this is what you have to do, then do it. Just do it wisely, strategically, smartly, effectively. You would want to, for example, build relationships with the police. You would want to build relationships with other authorities that help people who are in these situations. You would want to build relationships with some of the homeless shelters and some of the free Salvation Army treatment centers that exist. These are strategic things that I would imagine somebody like you would want to get involved with. It's much more important that you follow your own Dharma. As it said in the Bhagavad Gita, it says it's much better to follow your own Dharma imperfectly than to follow somebody else's Dharma for you. So if it's not your place to finish this program, it's not your path to go work at that center or this center, then certainly you're a free man. You might ask yourself the question, would it be helpful to me in my service work to finish this program? That's a question for you that I couldn't possibly answer. Would it be, if I have that degree or that certificate, would that make the work that I want to do, would that help me to perform my Dharma more successfully? That would be a good inquiry. Nobody can tell anybody else what to do. Ultimately, you have to be at peace with your own decision. And if your decision is in alignment with your Dharma, that's the only decision. In fact, there is no decision. You can't possibly make another decision. So, if you're where you feel you need to be in the world is helping people on the streets, which is what you've described, then I just recommend you be great at it. And if being great at it means you got to take this course and you got to sort of bite the bullet and just see it through, then so be it. Let it become a part of the greater work of your life. But who could possibly fault you for following your own heart? And this is what you need to do. If this is what you need to do, then do it. And do it great, and do it with grace, and do it with love, and you'll be one of the very few people in the world that are doing that kind of work, and are willing and able to do that kind of work, because somehow, with all the work you've done in your life on yourself, the meditation work you've done, the Zen Buddhist approach to things, the the recovery work you've done, the things you've seen, the family you've come from, everything that makes you you has prepared you to be uniquely suited to help this group of people. I'm uniquely suited to help certain kinds of people also. But I'm not necessarily uniquely suited to help other kinds of people. I don't have to, on the money tip, I thought I'd address that for a minute. For someone like you, I'd like you to have a lot of money because it's going to take a lot of money for you to do what you need to do in even bigger ways. Not because you're in it for the money, but because we live in a world where money's important. And there's certain things you might be able to achieve in terms of impact that would require money. And then on a personal level, and I assume it'll work out, while you said, I am not a wealthy man, as long as you're not stressed out about money, that's important, because it will then allow you to do your Dharma without being interrupted by those concerns. And most of us have to work for a living and have to find a way to walk that path where your financial needs are being met, at least the basic ones, so you're not stressed. There's roof over your head, shelter, food. The basics are covered, and then you can go out and do your work in the world without having to worry about the financial piece, which gets in the way or could get in the way. So for you, as for me, I wish that you have money to fuel your personal effort in the world and to fuel the mission that you've decided to pursue. So often people they think money or for-profit companies are, exploitative in some way or taking advantage in some way. And, for me, I look at it from a contributional standpoint. If somebody asked me, well, how much money would you like to make next year? I'd say, next year I'd like to make $1 billion. I'd like to make $1 billion next year. Now they think, that's for me. I'm like, no, I need $1 billion to make a big impact and to change the lives of more people who are struggling in addiction. In fact, I can tell you right now, $1 billion isn't going to do it. I'm going to need billions and billions of dollars to affect the kind of change that I'd like to see in the world. So there's nothing wrong with money. It's just a question of how you intend to use it and allocate it and what you can do with it. So I just wanted to comment on that for a moment. And then finally, this piece about other people. More than ever, I think we live in a time where we are subject to people's opinions. Before, you needed to be in front of somebody to get their opinion. Or maybe you'd hear it in the newspaper, read it in the newspaper. But now, if you happen to have one of these things, then you're subject to other people's consciousness and opinion all the time. In fact, if you just turn this on, just turn it on, you're subject to somebody's opinion. I'm talking about smartphones, computers, screens of any kind. If you get onto into the web, if you just plug yourself in, you now have decided, consciously or unconsciously, I'm willing to subject myself to the consciousness and opinions of other people. And so it becomes very, very difficult to hear that very quiet voice inside, which is you, telling you what the right thing to do is. It's called intuition. It's called the inner GPS, the inner guidance system. And so our ability to tap into that is going to be so important. And you have the right to change your mind also. Because you have said, I think this is the work I want to do. Well, you've obviously been doing it already. And let's say you continue for a few more years and you do that. And let's say you feel, I want to do something else now. You have every right to do that. You follow your bliss. You follow your next right thing, the next step, one foot in front of the next, down your path, your unique path. Nobody else can tell you what to do. The work that you're doing is it's so deep and powerful. It's so front lines.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, it's so Mother Teresa, I don't know what else to say. It's the work that I say it like this. It's the work of getting into people's piss and shit and vomit and death and struggle and looking at it in the face and saying, I'm going to help you. I can help you. I'll just sit here with you. Wow. Blows my mind. I'm not uniquely suited to do that work, but you are. And that's incredible. And I want to support it.
Appreciate that.
Yes. And, don't let anybody tell you what the right or the wrong thing to do is. Your questioning, though, is very important for yourself. Is it important for me to finish this program? Can that serve me in my mission? Can that serve the mission that I'm standing for? These are the inquiries that are the most important.
Right.
And then you can consult with wise people, hopefully non-judgmental, wise people, to reflect, here's what's coming up for me. This is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Again, I wouldn't recommend you put yourself in danger. And you have to think about that element of it. These are the things that come to mind for me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with almost everything you said. I've been walking the streets of San Francisco for 30 something years, and I'm not afraid. I know I'm street savvy. I know what my surroundings, things like that. I'm not a fighter for sure. But I can run fast. And I know when to cross the street, and it's just a weird thing. I see people that are passed out on the street. I don't get in their face to try to see what's going on. I stay at a safe distance, and I have made connections with SFPD, the fire department. My girlfriend just got promoted to a branch manager at a library. The reason I'm not working is I retired after 25 years of being a reference librarian. One of the reasons I retired was I wanted time. So I've got my pension, it's not $1 million a year, but I've never needed that. So I have time, irreplaceable. You can't, you don't know how much you have, but I'm starting a program at my girlfriend's branch because they have a community room, and I'm calling it Road Recovery. And it's going to be a first, sorry, I'm getting caught in mouth here. It's going to be about the first step, not the other 11. It's going to be, hey, you want treatment? I'm going to hook you up with treatment. I'm not going to treat you. I'm going to I'll get you the resources. That's what I can do. I can talk to you on people on any level. So that's my next project.
Amazing. It's amazing. Great. We need you.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Got the city librarian on my side, our district supervisor who is in recovery. A lot going on. And yeah, I want to be there. So.
Well, it sounds like you have the answer to your own inquiry.
Well, you make me feel a lot better about what I'm thinking. everything you said to everybody has gotten to me. I just have learned so much. And this was just, like I said, perfect timing.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thank you, Pat.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this inquiry.